welcome to the first inaugural Press X to podcast. But we are so bare bones right now because we don't have a logo and we don't have an audience except you watching this now. So, but we're still good. So, hey, thank you for tuning in. And again, I'm Captain Chris of the Lockdown Target Show. I have below me Evan, the Pixel Pusher, and kitty corner to me, Aylis Endura, also known as our resident Fallout fangirl. So,
Yeah.
and then we kind of have this thing over on the right here because Anna's too busy doing work and doing stuff to hang out with us today.
She's adulting.
Fine. Yeah. Good for you, Anna.
Curse adulthood.
Good.
Why?
I'm so glad that you got work to do and could actually, be a productive member of society. No, just kidding. Everyone else works besides me. I'm the only one here that doesn't actually work. So I have that.
Yep.
But anyways, we're bringing E3 coverage and recapping what we thought about E3 for you today. So let's start it off big with Bethesda. So, yeah, I know, right?
I think we all know who should lead off this part of the podcast.
Take it over.
Take it over.
Yes, I fangirled so hard. So one of the biggest changes we're seeing with the Fallout franchise, which you guys know is my obsession, our character creation. They're going to be using the same system that games like EVE Online and even The Sims 4 are using, where you sort of push and pull to adjust your character, and they have a really cute creative system where you're going to be getting ready in the morning next to your husband or wife, depending on which one you decide to be. So we do have it confirmed that you have a female character. Another huge change we're going to see is the upgrading and changing of the guns is huge. It's all modular now, and you're also going to be rebuilding a settlement, so it is going to be great for people like me who are already total pack rats in Fallout. We're going to have a purpose to carry around tons and tons of crap in our bag.
Up that strength stat.
I know. And then Dishonored, we're going to be getting a female character, which I know for a lot of people isn't a big deal, but for some of us that really, really is, and we're going to get a continuation of that storyline, it looks like. And then also Doom. Chris, do you want to talk about Doom?
Oh, well, actually, I think Evan, do you want to talk about it? Because I really want to talk about it. But I don't
Well, you talk about it and I'll play off you because
Okay.
To be honest, I'm going to be completely honest. All this stuff at the Bethesda conference, I haven't really played, like ever. Fallout, never played it. Doom, never was really into it when I was a kid. So,
But you will.
I mean, everything looked awesome,
You
but
will
just
be.
go straight into it.
Yeah. Well,
I will
okay.
be. I will be playing them now. Well, believe me, I will be playing it.
Actually, before we go into Doom, I want to talk about Fallout 4 a little bit more. The thing I'm most pumped about that game for is yes, the modular guns, but I love the idea of building my base and having raiders attacking me, having to dynamically mess off raiders. And I can see these mods where the bronies are attacking and I'm getting Applejack chasing or running after by
no.
you know what's gonna happen.
I think that's
gonna
going to be the best
happen.
part for me is because I love base building when it
Yeah.
comes to stuff like that, especially when it comes to old school RTS games. I love to I try to build the best unpenetrable fortress I could ever get. Giant walls around my entire thing with turrets. I love to just be the most powerful freaking thing you've ever seen. I will put turrets everywhere on that wall. Every single square will have some sort of gun or explosion on it somewhere. You will never be able to get into my fortress. It will be great. And actually, you know what would be kind of cool if they added in? They should add a fortress penetration mode. People just build up giant fortresses and then people just try and break in and see if they can get into it. I don't know. I don't know if they will, but I thought that would be a cool game mode. But that's just me.
Oh yeah,
There.
it'll be great, and we'll just have the chance to build up a base and own some raiders or some bronies or whatever else they throw at us, and we'll get our rad roaches with top hats, I'm sure. So
You've got mud crabs with top hats and a monocle. Why not?
exactly.
Yep,
So,
I'm gonna be a sir. I'm gonna have the top hat and the mustache, the curly Q mustache. I'm gonna have it. Yep, that's gonna be me in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I want the outfit and the armor from my current Fallout New Vegas playthrough to be ported into Fallout 4. It's by far my favorite one that I've ever used, so I really want to find a way to move it into the next part of the series.
Oh yeah. It'll be wonderful. Well, that'll be in like a week. Like the first week, everyone will just be like, "Here's the port. Here's the textures of like our armors from Fallout 3. We're gonna port it right directly." But I'm excited for Vault 111. And another thing I was pumped about that I didn't talk about was a Deathclaw popped up from the street in the middle of a street, and I'm like, we're gonna see Deathclaws more than just like out in the wilderness and like whatever. You know what I mean?
Terrifying prospect.
So Evan doesn't really know much about Deathclaws, but Deathclaws are the hardest enemy in the Fallout series.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
and they will own you. They will wreck you unless you have like laser
Yay.
weapons or, well, actually,
Or really
I
good
use-
criticals.
Yeah, I love me some VATS. Another thing is I think they're keeping VATS, which I'm kind of on the
They are.
edge about because I just VATted my way through the entire game, and yep, I decimated everything.
You're
So-
going to notice that VATS is okay, but if you are playing as a sniper in any of the Fallout games, doing it yourself is usually more accurate if you can line up the shot by yourself. Go watch my
Uh-huh.
first episode of that playthrough. I do almost all of my shots freehand. I don't
Yeah.
VATS because the VATS says you have a 20% chance to hit this with VATS. But I have a lot better chance of doing it on my own. And VATS kind of harkens back to the original Fallout. You used to be able to right-click on your weapon, and that would allow you to choose a section to hit. It wasn't nearly as cool as VATS is now, but with the Deathclaw, that was the only way to take him out. You shot him in the eyes.
Yeah. So that was it. So that's more of what I did. But one of the things I was kind of like about was a minigun took down a Deathclaw, and I'm like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? I mean, we could have some plus whatever.
Depends on the player.
Yeah, that's on the player, but in the thing, they're like, I was like, no, that doesn't work that way. I remember my favorite moment was just going into the one cave with like 5 Deathclaws or whatever, pulling out my flame saber thing, and just going into a melee battle with these Deathclaws. And let's just say I didn't win, but it was fun. And-
I didn't win, but it was awesome.
yeah, it was.
Hello, Deathclaw.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Seek Gauss rifle.
Yeah, that's right. Just use your OP rifles on everything. Or you can play the game like me and just play fisticuffs and go through the
Oh
game
no, I'm gonna be blowing stuff up.
as
That-
like monks.
just in general.
So we have our
Evan-
explosives expert. We've got
Evan and
our
Melee.
his BFGs
melee
and
and our
blowing stuff up.
sniper.
Yep.
Yep. I'm excited how many things I can add. Like when they did the bat portion, I was like, yes, spikes! And then, like I'm like, if I can set that thing on fire, I don't care. Like that's enough for me.
Hold on a sec.
Go.
Don't lose to Furious here. I love you.
Oh, Dylan's the fear! Yay!
You
Sorry.
better host this. You got to.
Yeah, if you host this, we'll get like 40 people watching.
That'd be great.
Sorry,
Podcast
Death.
is always more
Sorry,
fun with
Deathshock.
people watching.
I'm glad you're
All
here
right.
too. So, but Don't Lose This Fear is actually like one of the people we had like intention on inviting on the show eventually. I'm
He's
just,
the reason I might actually watch anime for the first time in a decade.
I know, right? Speaking of which, not to sidetrack too much, I watched Magi over the last week and it's really good, so I would recommend that. But sorry, I know you
Nope.
find it too annoying, but
Yep.
I love it.
Can't do it.
I love it.
Hate the voice acting. Don't
But-
like it.
Okay, but anyways, let's get back to Doom.
Doom, doom, doom.
Oh no,
doom,
no,
doom.
Now,
I
Doom,
no,
speaking
no,
of
we're not there
BFGs.
yet. We're not there yet, actually.
What?
Never mind. Let's talk about mods coming to consoles, because that's a big thing.
The PC
It's like a long
the
pause.
PC Master Race person in me kind of wants to keep the mods to myself.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see on how they roll those out because all of my mods come from the Nexus. They're not
Yeah.
from the Steam area. They're not from all these official channels. Like the Nexus is my home for mods for every game that I have ever modded. I trust the people there. My favorite developers only provide their mods there. So I'll be interested in seeing how those things can come together for consoles.
Exactly. I was like, this was a big FU to the Nexus after they announced paid mods and everything. Like, I don't know what Bethesda's doing. You know what I mean? Like, because when Total Biscuit interviewed the maker or the owner of the Nexus, I gained so much respect for that guy. Like, just listening to his reasonings behind his business and everything like that. And I'm like, why would Bethesda do this? And of course, I know what's going on. It's Bethesda.net that's allowing, like, the Bethesda approved whatever. But there are a lot of modders that are going to be making content that is NSFW, you know what I mean? That's just not going to show up on Bethesda.net.
Most of the texture packs I use are.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't like naked people in Skyrim, but hotter bods or whatever it is, like, makes the game and the NPCs look 10 times better with armor on. You know what I mean? Like, when they...
And in Fallout, you have Beware of Girl, which is an amazing texture pack with realistic skin. It has better highlights on the face. It looks a lot more realistic. It's a little more intensive on your PC, but there is no non-nude version of it available. And in fact, you probably saw in my stream when I accidentally forgot to turn that one off, and my character turned around. I'm like, oh, nipples. So a lot of the best mods in these games, a lot of the best texture packs are made a little not safe for work, and it's because a lot of the armor, if you were to try to place it over the existing bodies, it would clip a bunch of the tank top style underwear that they have for the female characters.
Yeah, and that's my worry is mods to me have always been like a free thing, but Bethesda, I don't think they're going to want like 12-year-olds or whatever. Well, you know what I mean, like running across the not safe for work mods. But a lot of them I use legitimately for, just making texture, like making the game look better. And,
I like them for boobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the changes that they make to the female body because I am not a stick person. I do have a little bit of a booty and things like that. So I like being able to go in and go, I want to make my character look like me.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen yet if this push-pull system for Fallout 4 is going to extend to the body like it does in other games, or if in typical Fallout fashion, we're just going to be adjusting the face.
Yeah. Here's my worry with Bethesda.net. Because it's a client like how it is, I don't think they're going to allow user-created mods that aren't approved by Bethesda.net. And that's what I think the quiet thing in the room is, is they're going to, not saying they're trying to kill off the Nexus, but we're going to have to pirate the games to, not pirate, like buy the game, pirate it so we can have the offline version so we can have our mods. And that's going to be stupid because I'm sure they're going to validate client, and I'm sure that's how they're going to answer the mods being on consoles, whatever. Everything has to be curated, everything has to be filtered, and everything has to be tested. Unlike, how Curse.net or the Nexus is right now. So that's what I think the evil side of this is, but we're not getting there. And I like the I like that mods are finally getting put on consoles. Both of them have been confirmed. I know they announced it at the Xbox conference, but it's later been confirmed that the PS4 is getting mod support for mods as well. So, but only Bethesda games, which I think is interesting. I mean, what if we opened up the floodgates for modding on everything? So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be sort of like the gateway for everybody else to sort of see if they want to do that with their games on consoles, because a lot of people might start doing that, and then at the end, a lot of other people. It's sort of like a lot of people talk about the Nintendo Creators Program. A lot of people are like, don't join it, because then other people are going to want, all the other companies are going to want to start doing it if it starts working out well. But then we know about other companies, they might start trying to make you pay for stuff, like was it Steam tried to do a few weeks ago, and then they just said, nope, no, we're not doing that. I feel like down the road, it may look like a good thing, but they're going to try and slip that in there right under the radar and see if anybody will notice in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a good thing, don't get me wrong, but in the end, I feel like there's a shady side to this that a lot of people might not be thinking about, or b might be coming in the future.
Yeah, and maybe that's just us being cynical old gamers at this point, or older
Yep,
gamers. But
that's us.
yep,
We've seen it all.
we've seen it all.
Yep.
We've seen, but
We watched games go from subscriptions to microtrans. We are old.
Yep.
well, even before we know what expansion packs are, but yeah. And
Just think, your kids will not know the meaning of expansion pack.
I know.
Oh.
They'll just be like, oh, DLC, and that is a sad thought that games can't exist now without microtrans. Speaking of microtrans, well, maybe. I'm thinking we might actually get it. I think they're going to introduce paid mods again, but for another game, okay? I think they'll do it for Doom. All right? I think they'll,
Maybe.
we'll get into this Doom right now. Doom looks freaking awesome. I love everything about it. The guns feel good, like at least they were showing. They feel powerful. It's everything I want in an FPS game. I'm a little worried about the AI a little bit from what they showed, that it's not like some basic AI, but beyond that, like the game looks violent and fun. So,
Because that's all that matters.
I know.
Violent and fun.
That's
Violent and
Doom.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the guy picking up the chainsaw, I was just like, yes. And then I was like,
Violent,
put the chainsaw on the end of the put the chainsaw on the end of the gun. Let's do it, yeah.
Violent, fun, and fast. Let's not forget how quick the gameplay was in that little trailer that we watched.
Yeah, unlike Halo, but I'll get into that later. Halo was just a leisurely stroll down the lane.
Yeah.
But
That map editor, though, for
Oh.
Doom, that map editor, holy crap, that is just a slap. Speaking of Halo, slap in the face to the Forge mode on Halo. That thing
even-
looked great.
even back in the day, I've messed around with Unreal Engine and that type of thing because I'm a big fan of Unreal. So I grew up on Unreal 98. That was my Babby's first FPS. Well, I mean like real like.
Right.
So I have a special place for in my heart about Unreal, and I've used map editing there, and it's easy enough if you know what you're doing, but it is so complicated for a noob person to go in. I've done modeling before. I've done map design, you know what I mean? But the Bethesda thing was just like literally, I could use it on a controller. And I was just pumped about it to be able. I wonder if we can create events in scripting. That's my big want, is to be able to create my own campaign levels. You know what I mean? And to create my own scenario. And that's kind of what I'm excited about. The game I just gifted you guys on Steam. The gosh, what is it? The Dragon.
Fight
the Dragon. Yep, that's
Fight
what
the
it is. That I got on the Steam sale the other day. Is that we can create our own scenario maps and create our own dungeons. And that's what's cool about it to me, is the thought that instead of like depending on someone else, we can like create something and play through it. Or, I just like that. I like that concept. So that's a
It's
game
like
that
being the DM in a D&D game. It's being
Yes.
able to set up something for everybody else to enjoy.
exactly. And that's what I think Doom's going to be capturing. But I think we're going to see paid mods. I think that's what's going to be the bad part of this. Full conversion mods that are, $10, which I'm not opposed to that. I'll pay full for conversion mod. I'll buy Killing Floor. You know what I mean? I used to play Killing Floor for free. I support Treyarch and everything that they bring to the table because I love Killing Floor. I don't know if you guys have played Killing Floor. Have you?
Nope.
Oh, sad day. You should check out Killing Floor 2. Actually, Evan would really like it, I think. Because,
Oh, is that so?
because Evan really likes zombies, and that's basically what the game is. So,
Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Let's see.
yeah.
Is it on sale? Is it on Steam sale?
No. Well, it's brand.
Why?
Killing Floor
I'm not
2 just
playing it.
came out. So, well, it's still in early access. But
Oh, okay.
it's really cool. It's made in Unreal 4. Persistent blood, persistent gore. I was going to talk about it a little bit more near the end when we talk about PC, but I really want that game because Killing Floor was like when people are playing zombies, I was playing Killing Floor. All right, so I love that game. I love that it's persistent blood. the entire time that like if you shoot a light out or lights, they have events in the game that force you not to just hole up in one place, type of thing. Like you can shoot out lights and everything, and then it starts to get darker. Stray bullets start taking out your cover and whatnot, and it forces you to move around the map. I just think there's a lot there that improves the game in general. Yep, Killing Floor.
So, how about that Pip-Boy edition?
Yeah.
Oh,
Want
it's
it
sold
so
out,
much.
by the way.
What?
It
How
is
is it
sold
sold
out.
out? I didn't even see it
It
go
is.
on sale.
The pre-orders are sold out at basically every retailer that was offering a pre-order for it. However, they said they might be able to pull in a few more in a tweet from someone on the team. So we're kind of looking at they might do a second wave, but if not, they're gone.
They should just sell the thing.
I did. Yeah, I know. Just sell the armband as a regular
Now,
thing. Fine.
I will say, as a nerd, this is nothing new. This is an official Pip-Boy that you can stick your phone into.
Yeah.
But they've been on eBay for
I
the
know.
last 5 years. So if you can't get the official one, at least you can still kind of get one of the cosplay-friendly ones that have been around for a while.
Yeah. But it's still, there's still a part of me that wants the official one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I want
you
the
always
case that goes with it so I can display it between our two computers here. My problem is I don't know that the official one will fit me after
Yeah.
looking at
And
it.
they're like,
Yeah.
what phone or whatever, your phone can fit in. I'm like, what size? Okay, you might make it standard iPhone, but iPhone has a 4.9-inch chases.
It's
you know?
probably going to
Guess he's
fit
got
an
an
iPhone.
iPhone. Suck it, nerds.
It's probably going to fit an iPhone 5 or 6 because the people at Bethesda are big fans of Apple products. And it's about
Yeah,
the
he
same
did
size
say.
as a lot of like the new Droid and the new Samsung phones. I have an HTC, which will fit into it, just looking at the dimensions of it.
Yeah.
But something like this, like I keep an old deactivated iPhone around and I'm playing Fallout Shelter on it right now.
Lucky.
Something like this is probably not going to fit. That screen looks like it's a little too big.
Yeah. I mean, it
I
does.
I can't believe it sold out because I went during the conference and after the conference. I tried to go to websites that would sell it, and I couldn't even find it. Like there was no store page.
Yeah. No
For
store
it
page.
anywhere. I even went to GameStop. The GameStop was the only place I could find a listing for it, and they said it hadn't even gone on sale yet. I don't know how it sold out. I didn't even see it go on sale.
They were announcing it this morning in the Fallout Reddit, the Fallout subreddit, that everywhere that they've been looking for it, several people confirmed that they haven't been able to find it in the U.S. One person said they managed to get a pre-order in the U.K. still, but I'm not sure where they got it from.
Oh man.
Amazon UK, hurry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even see it go on sale. I would have done it. I would have got it. But, whatever. Anyway, if they do a second one, we'll have to see. But yeah, I didn't even see it go on sale at all. I would have bought it, but whatever.
Follow all of our Twitters, and if you just look, if I promise you that if I see more go up, I'll be announcing it.
Well, I don't have the money to get it anyways, but it's the thought that counts.
I'm getting it.
So I really. Oh, did you get an order in?
No, I'm gonna
Oh.
go find one though.
Oh yeah. I could see.
She'll go searching
I could
high
see you
and
be
low
like
to
one of the
get
people
one.
that like mugs
I will-
someone at
Okay.
like the store. Like some 12-year-old kid gets it. Mommy, I got Fallout 4 for the first time, and you're like, oh yeah.
No, I got it. She's gonna put Moonhead on. She's gonna get a Moonhead helmet
Yep.
guy on, and she's gonna go. She's just gonna like mug some kid and
Here's
just
my
be like,
Halo
"Yes!"
helmet.
Yep.
No, honestly, what I'm really looking forward to is if I can't get the official one, I'm going to have for my my Fallout jumpsuit. I'm gonna try to make the Pip-Boy, the bling version
Yeah.
from Fallout
Ah.
3. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some gold spray paint and rhinestones and put it all in there.
All right.
Well, let's
So-
move on to Microsoft, because Bethesda took a long time, and we need to move on. So,
Microsoft. Microsoft, I think, killed it.
yep.
With a lot of their announcements. Granted, I mean, like, I think they offered a lot in terms of things that are not coming out, but they were big announcements, and things that are coming out, and then a mix of things we already knew sort of existed, like the Gears of War stuff. Like we all knew
Yeah.
there was another Gears of War 4 coming. It's not like it was everybody knew that was coming. Everybody knew the Gears of War Anniversary Collection because we've had rumors of that for the past month that was coming out. Halo 5 was nothing new. We already knew that was coming.
Yeah.
You know,
Warzone
that was
or
coming.
whatever it was is
Warzone looked okay.
Yeah.
I think, of course, the big announcements, of course, were backwards compatibility with 360 was a big one. The Rare Legacy Collection, or the Rare Rewind, as we're going to call it,
Replayer.
and of course,
Yeah.
and I guess you could sort of say Sea of Thieves,
yes.
or
Yeah.
the Old Rare is coming back game. At least that's what I'm going to be calling it.
Yeah.
Old Rare is coming back game. It looked interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
But everything else, what else was on there? Didn't care about.
HoloLens.
Oh yeah, the HoloLens was cool. After I've had sort of like a couple of days to really like sit down and like look, the HoloLens things was cool. And yes, I was freaking out about watching him do the whole thing with Minecraft and things like that. But I was like, okay, so that's one game that everybody has probably played. That's one game that everybody, but by the time that anybody can get their hands on a HoloLens, we'll probably be like, it's
Yeah.
more Minecraft.
They won't care
So
anymore.
here's
Yeah.
my vision for HoloLens. Okay.
Uh-huh.
RTS like StarCraft, seeing the units out on your entire floor and seeing the whole map at once. Pokemon trading cards and like we could do Yu-Gi-Oh for reals. You know what I mean? Like the
That could be the name of the game, Yu-Gi-Oh for real.
Yo, for real.
reals with
like
a
the
Z.
the
With
whole
a Z.
like in the anime where
Yeah.
they put the card down and then the creature popped up.
Yeah.
How sweet would that be? You know, and
Yeah.
I get to see so many things.
Nah, man, I need my armband to put the thing on. I need to slap it on there, and it's just like,
So-
Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's
so
what I need.
imagine something. Yeah, exactly. So imagine something like what's the game on my phone? It's the one where you go to like the GPS locations. I'm forgetting it right now.
I have no
Darn it,
idea
I
what
can't
you're
find it.
about.
Go figure. I'm under pressure. Well, I have like 100 or so games on this, so it's kind of hard to like look through my apps and find things. But anyways, the idea of the game is you go through and you're like an agent, and there's two teams or whatever, and one's trying to open up the portals, one's trying to like close them, and you claim you geocache pretty much by going to these different historical locations and walking to them and locking it down with your phone and that type of thing. I'm thinking like HoloLens, where we go to a geographical location and like a portal opens up and monsters come out and we have to fight them in like real time like battles and whatnot. I would freaking decimate.
Hold on. I'm just looking at this from the outside perspective of people who aren't wearing a HoloLens to that.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing is people like standing back in horror, like looking up at something, and then they start like running around and like, swiping fictional swords in the air, and then the people with no HoloLens around like,
Yeah.
what's going on right now? Is there
this
something we can... I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
This tech has been used in Japan for the last several years, though,
Yeah.
for very simple apps that you do with a headset, and mostly for girlfriend experience kind of games.
Yes,
So
yes.
there have been plenty of these where you actually have the headset on, and if you look to your left or your right, your anime girlfriend is walking with you. So I'm happy to see this tech kind of evolving past a really cheesy dating game kind of thing.
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
Nope.
I'm not saying what they're going to
Nope.
give us right now is the final product,
Ugh.
but the possibilities for me is what I want. You know what I mean? Like, just to see
Well-
I'm just that much closer, you know?
Well, see, HoloLens is different from all the other VR experience that either Oculus or the Morpheus or whatever, was it the Steam HTC, whatever that is. Like,
Yeah.
those are just a screen that happens to your eyes. The big giant screen you put on your eyes that's sort of motion sensitive. HoloLens is bringing the games into the real world rather than immersing you the real world into a fake world. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the total opposite.
Oh yeah.
And I think in the end, both of them have a market to a specific place. But I think like HoloLens, since it's so different, I think that HoloLens is really what we all think of when we think VR gaming. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything else is just sort of being immersed in a different world other than the real one. HoloLens is taking that and putting all of that into the real world and sort of making it our own. I think I want to see more than just Minecraft running on it.
Yeah.
And that's even to say that if you can actually do any of that when the HoloLens comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that could have just been a tech demo that might not even be a real thing when it finally comes out.
Honestly, give me a horror game. Give me
Oh my
a
gosh.
good
No,
horror
don't give
game.
me a horror game. No, don't give me a horror game. I don't want to bring those monsters into real life. I will keep them in the Oculus. Let's not bring monsters into real life because I will have real nightmares. No.
Give me Amnesia style games
No.
on the HoloLens.
Oh geez, like just like haunted house style mod where this like will randomly generate things like popping out of walls and
Make it Silent Hill the
geez.
walls.
Yeah.
Make it Silent Hill the walls.
Well, we'll
Give
never
me
see
that
Silent Hills ever
terraforming when I
again.
You
look
guys
over.
have stronger hearts than I do. I wouldn't be able
But
to take it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Well-
I can't even play Five Nights at Freddy's. It's that bad, okay?
well, I was
Can't do it.
thinking like other games, like you know, like Mega Man Battle Network. I don't know if everyone's
Yeah.
played them, but it's like a grid-based 9-on-9 quadrant. What if you could like network together and yes, it's kind of simplistic, but you like battle on this 9-on-9, 9 grid or 3x3 grid square is your area, and 3x3 grid square is this other guy's area, and you use like moves and spells and whatever to like real time battle. I think that's like, as someone who has an imagination, HoloLens just opens up so much in game design. Like, I can't wait to play any one of those games. And I know I thought them up myself, but you know what I mean? Well, besides StarCraft. StarCraft.
Make them, Chris. Why just make them?
I
It's
don't have
work.
I don't have the technical prowess, put it that way, to do that. But oh man, I just see so much that could go well with that. And same with VR gaming, but like VR Morpheus and whatever, like Eve Valkyrie during the PC conference. Oh my gosh, I want that game so bad. It's like, like
Give me that game and put me in my Dominix.
Yeah, like I will probably get a VR headset just to play that game with VR. Like, I'm serious. You know, it looks like the game I always wanted. You know, in a star fighter kind of simulator. So, oh man, I can't wait for that game. But yeah, this year. One thing that I will say is there's a lot of stuff I can't wait for. So
Yes. Yep.
another thing big in the Microsoft press conference, we didn't really get to see much of it, but we saw the announcement for Recore, which was the key Inafune game. You know, the creator of Mega Man. I don't know what he's going to do. Is it going to be third person, or is he going to do a side scroller type thing? And that's, but the basic premise is, you know, you got your dog and you basically, well, you got your core and you can plug it into
I think
different
that's the
things.
premise of half the games at E3. So you have this
Yeah.
dog
Yeah, you have
You
this
know.
dog and
Yep.
yeah. That
in
is,
various forms. You got a regular dog. You got a robot dog. You got a dog, a giant dog with chicken legs. You know,
and the
it's
wings.
all over the place.
And
Much
wings.
Doge. Much Doge.
Yeah,
Yes.
much Doge.
Yes.
But yeah, well, then we got Dark Souls 3, which, you know, maybe I will love the butt poking simulator this time around. I'll still play it because I'm still trying to get those games, like why people love them so much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like knocking games, but I don't get those games. Why they're so popular. And same with another thing that's going to give me a lot of hate coming up. But I won't get there. Let's just say the Sony conference is going to make me one of the more hated people on this podcast, I'm sure. But the
Good thing no one watches us that much yet. Hey.
hey, yeah, I know.
Hey. No
But,
hate, no hate.
Yeah, well, we got to start somewhere. But yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I hated the EA part of it because EA was EAing it up and like, yeah, we can pay a subscription model to play all these games that you can buy for $5 a piece at GameStop anyways.
59 minutes of freaking sports, and then 1 minute of the game everybody came to see.
I know.
It was See, I hate EA because first of all, it was painfully obvious that EA just did not care whatsoever about anybody because they know that we came to see Battlefront. And of course, unlike in past shows, they took all of their sports, put all of their sports in one section because let's face it, nobody cares about the sports games for the most part. I mean, yes, I'm sure there was a few people there. The interview with Pele, look, as great as Pele is, the whole interview with Pele was not needed. That's 15 minutes they could have been using to show freaking Star Wars Battlefront. Because so many people are just really not into Battlefront, including myself. Well, I want Battlefront. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that it's being made, but nobody is assured that EA is going to do it right. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the game is going to be screwed up in some way when it comes out. I'm looking at the gameplay and I'm just like, oh, it looks so good. Don't get hyped, Evan. Oh, Evan, don't get hyped, Evan. You know. It's like, don't do it. Don't pull them in. That's how EA does it. That's what Frostbite is. It's a hype engine that makes a game look good, and then they screw you with those microtransactions. That's all it is.
Yep.
I feel like they're going to EA it up.
Oh, they will.
And that's it.
They'll be like, you want heroes? You want Jango Fett instead of Boba Fett? $5.
$5.99.
Yep.
$5.99.
Oh no, it's EA $10. So
now,
$10.
I will give EA credit. They did not put it at E3 because it's something that happened before E3, just about a week before. They are providing the next city for Sims 4 completely free of charge. They're making another one of their free DLCs. There have been a lot of these for The Sims 4, which gives me a little hope that they're starting to listen to their players a little more. So I'm really hoping to see some of that pushed out in Battlefront the same way. I know it's not likely, but I'm hoping for it.
I'm hoping to
EA Access. That's my counter argument to that. EA Access.
Touché.
They did give the Battle of Jacanta or whatever, which is a Force Unleashed battle. They're giving that post-map free DLC. If you pre-order the game, you get it like a week earlier, which I think is a jerk move.
If you pre-order the game, you get it a free map. If you
No. You get it. You still get it if you don't pre-order, but you get it a week later. Which is okay. Okay.
That's it. Right there.
I'm okay with that. So,
here's my thing: first of all, I'm going to refrain so much from buying that game at launch.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how screwed up it is when it comes out, if it is at all, and how bad they try to milk that game for money in the end. Because if they come out and say EA is just like, okay, because let's face it, they got this game franchise and they pumped it out in a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people are wondering, why isn't there more features? Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? My hypothesis, they're going to try and actually milk it all out of you for extra features for money later on, or let's just face it, they didn't have a lot of time to work on a game of this magnitude because you know how it is. Everybody wanted Star Wars Battlefront, and of course, Battlefront itself is starting to sort of go downhill a bit, like the Battlefield franchise itself is starting to go downhill a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this is going to revitalize sort of our Battlefield franchise, and of course, so we need it to come out after Battlefield Hardline, which apparently a lot of people were just kind of like, at most on. So it's just like, if they come out and say, okay, so they're adding that free map in the beginning. That's great. It's going to be free. Okay, these next 3 map packs, completely free. Completely free because let's face it, we didn't have time to finish all of this game, so we're going to give you all of this stuff for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would be more inclined to maybe more pay attention to that game than I am now if they came out and be like, yeah, we're going to have all this extra free stuff down the line for it.
Yeah.
But we know if they do that, but we know it's not going to do that. It's EA.
The only there's 2 other games that there's 3 really that I think would be worth talking about. Plants vs. Zombies 2 Garden Warfare, that's pretty much, it just looks fun. Yep. I will probably play it.
Yeah, I got you into play number one.
Yep, that's
Number
right.
one is fun. We're gonna have to do
And
that later on too. But no,
unwrap.
I love
Oh, go
Plants
ahead.
vs Zombies one.
It's good.
I played it on 360. It was a very, very fun shooter. If you had not actually played it, I would say it's one of the few games that actually very surprised me, and then I would actually recommend you go play.
Yeah,
It does have microtransactions in it, but it's easy enough to play a few matches to get enough coins to buy all the stuff that you need.
yeah.
It has microtransactions, but it's not very microtransaction
No,
focused,
you can buy
which is really great.
coins. You can buy
Yeah.
coins, but I wouldn't recommend you do it. Like one game of Gardens and Graveyards, which is basically like advancing points or whatever.
Mhm.
Like you take 1 point and then the plants have to defend another point in the yard and that type of thing.
Right.
Uh, I got like 12,000 coins from one match. And to give an idea, the rarest unlocked packs or whatever are 40,000 coins. So play 4 games of that and you get a new character unlock. So,
So it's not that bad.
it's super easy to get, and that's the most expensive card pack in the game. It's just 4 games, and then you're done. So, I think was done well was they're announcing that all your characters you've unlocked from number 1 carry over to number 2, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind
nice.
of cool. So,
Yeah. I was surprised they announced that game, but as soon when they announced it, I was just like, "Oh, hey, yeah, a game I might actually play at the EA conference." Um,
yeah, I
I
know,
was like-
right?
although that and I'm gonna sell out already, but even though I don't know about the game, Mass Effect 4,
Exactly. That's
big
play it.
Mass Effect,
No
big
doubt.
Mass Effect
me.
fan.
Yep. I don't. I'm not Captain Chris because I don't like sci. No, I'm Captain Chris because I love sci-fi. So if you put sci-fi in a game, chances are I'll play it. So the Mass Effect Andromeda, oh man, that's a day one purchase for me. And I don't buy a lot of
I
games
gotta
day
see
one.
about it. I have to see about it. I'm hyped for it. Let me put it this way. I'm gonna try and treat that the same way I do Battlefront. Don't get me wrong. I want to play the game, but since we still know so little about it,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be cautiously optimistic about it. I can't remember. Did they say if it was coming out next year for
No, they
Andromeda?
didn't. I don't think they gave a
I
release
don't think
date.
they had a release date for it, did they?
No, I
don't
don't
know.
think
No,
so.
it's just a work in progress.
Yeah, that was another thing is EA gave us so little information but so much. So like after every sports game they'd be like, "Don't worry, Star Wars Battlefront's coming. Don't worry, Star Wars Battlefront's coming in like 10, 15
I like how
minutes."
they had the little tabs at the bottom of the screen that they would scroll. This much time until Battlefront. They did that specifically so that people would not log off during all the boring sports sections that nobody cared about. Don't
Which
worry.
we did.
Well,
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
they have 2 more games and I want to kind of cover them quick. Unravel and Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So, they actually had a pretty
Catalyst,
good
so
showing for when they actually showed non-sports games. So,
I will say I'm excited about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I want to see a little bit more about it first. I mean, I'm sure they've done a few interviews showing gameplay
Yeah.
stuff about it, but that's coming. They actually gave a release date. That's like, was it February 16,
Yep.
2016, something
yeah,
like that?
it's for
February.
Q1 release. So,
Yeah, so
Uh,
I mean, it's not too far off. I mean, you still got to wait a little bit while, but like I played the first Mirror's Edge, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great for me. I really really liked it. This one, now that it actually has more story to it now, I think will make it even better. And the fact that it's on, was it Frostbite 4 now?
yeah.
Because the original, I think the original Mirror's Edge was actually more. The first Mirror's Edge actually wasn't made to be most like a story-driven game. The first Mirror's Edge was actually made to be more of a tech demo for one of the Frostbite engines that they just started using.
Yeah.
And like that's what a lot of people don't really realize is like, it's like, why are they going back to the beginning? What happened to the first Mirror's Edge? It's because the first Mirror's Edge technically in the storyline wasn't even really supposed to happen. It was just a game that came out.
Yeah.
You know, it was a big tech demo, which was great. I'll give it. It had lots of fun time trials to play. All the running and stuff like that. It made you cringe at the time when you fell off the the buildings, which I did a lot. But no, it was really really cool. I liked the mechanics of it. It was something that was different, and it was a first person shooter that didn't really focus on shooting so much. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked it. I'm cautiously optimistic about that game. But yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that one.
Well,
Your turn.
for
Anyway,
me,
go.
it looks like a lot like Mirror's Edge, and that's a good thing because it's unique. And I loved that there were like Faith doesn't need guns. Okay,
Yeah.
and I like to use melee weapons in games, anyways, especially with guns. I like Zero is one of my favorite characters in all video gaming. Zero from Mega Man, because he uses
Right.
a plasma sword when everyone else is using busters and guns and whatnot, and he
Right.
just wrecks everything. So he's that just idea of bringing a sword to a gunfight is fantastic to me.
I'm
And
sorry, I just went back to the stream and see that Moonhead guy and stuff with him. I laugh every time I see that picture. It's great.
yep, and we'll get to the Moonhead in a little bit with Nier. Yep, I think that wraps up EA. Do we even was there anything Ubisoft that we even really want to talk about besides like the fractured butthole and
Yeah.
No, I think that's pretty much it. They announced a new South Park game.
yeah, the
South
division.
Fractured but whole. The whole
Yeah.
title is the word fractured and then but and then whole HE double H.
I was like,
It was the best title ever. I laughed so
It looks
much.
dumb, but I will play it because I am a huge fan of South Park.
it
so.
was the best way to start off the Ubi press conference. Okay, because I was like,
Since
what
nobody
is
was
going
expecting it.
on? And
Yeah.
then, oh, it was great.
Nobody was expecting that game. I think that was probably Ubisoft's biggest thing, and then afterwards, nobody really cared too much about anything after that.
Well, the division, but that's about it.
I still don't know what the division is about. They keep saying, "Oh, we gotta fight for tomorrow. Oh, if we don't keep doing this, then nobody's gonna be alive." What happened? Why is New York in shambles? Why are you fighting? Well, who are you fighting? I don't understand. Who are you people? It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It's just a AAA DayZ. That's all it is. And
I don't understand it. Although I will say Rainbow Six Siege
looks
that
awesome.
actually I do think looked good. I will totally play it. I love those co-op game types where you just have to figure out how to get through there, busting through walls and stuff like that. Definitely into that.
Yeah, I love the taking the siege ram and busting through walls to take down people. I don't know if you watch like the gameplay or whatever portion of it, but oh man, I just love the idea of like destructible walls and FPSs. It's always been a thing for me. So
Actually, what I was really surprising about is I saw next to no Ubi art games.
no, there
No.
was no.
Which was very surprising because they focused a lot on that last year, and all of them did really well. But I didn't see any of them this year,
Nope.
which is very surprising.
No.
Uh,
What about you, Aylis? Anything from the conference? Just Dance, maybe? No, just kidding.
I'm not
Nobody
playing Just
cares.
Dance anymore.
It's your
so,
kids.
No, I've gotten rid of it altogether.
Really?
The kids have the older ones. We haven't bought any of the newer ones in a
Yeah.
while because I find that every time I see a song on there that I want, it happens to be one of the ones that pops up and it's like, buy this in the Wii store. So I loved my old school DDR and I would like to see a return to the pad style dancing.
Yeah.
Maybe when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a video of me doing Just Dance. So everybody can see me flailing and flopping like an idiot because that's what we all
What are
look
you gonna
like
do?
when we play it. So
I played
Yeah.
Just Dance one time. You don't even have to do what they do on that. You just flail around and you can get good stuff. I like the fact though. This just shows how much both Sony and Microsoft have just abandoned their whole motion gaming and like connected stuff like that because they're just like, you don't need to use the camera anymore. Now you can use your phone as a controller. I said, yeah, that's a great idea. It's gonna be like Wiimotes all over again. Cell phone in the TV. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a stupid idea. I mean, basically, it's what that is to people. It's like everybody already has a smartphone. Just use that. But at the same time, it's just like I don't know if it really matters at this point. Like, I don't know.
When I
That's
worked
just
at AT&T, only 60% of our wireless customers, like accounts, had smartphones on them. So just to assume that everyone has a smartphone is kind of an arrogant type of thing anyways. But I know, like, a lot of everyone has a smartphone. But,
Well,
that
I'm
was the
gonna add-
statistics. So.
I'm going to add to that, and I'm going to call it right now, because anything that's coupled with any sort of game that's coupled with a video game that has like the second screen experience on your phone.
Besides Fallout 4, whatever you're saying.
Hold on. You don't know what I'm saying. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it was stupid. I was saying it always requires the latest and greatest phone to work.
Yeah.
For the most part, it always requires the latest phone. And not everybody has the latest phone. Um, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that switch every year because Apple, but it's going to be like, yeah, you could use your phone, but you need to have this phone to use it, and everybody still has like iPhone 4s and stuff, and it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like nobody's. I don't think it's
I'll
going
use
to
a
work
phone
as
until
well.
it breaks.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Unless.
Or until
Yeah.
well, the down thing about mine is that probably by the next iPhone, my phone will be obsolete because uh, Apple loves to just abandon their old hardware. But
Mhm.
that's what I signed up for when I got an iPhone. So there you go. I was ready for it. But anyway, uh,
Speaking of being ready, are you ready for the Sony press conference?
oh, I'm gonna love this. This is
Aw,
gonna be
Evan.
great.
So, I'll just go out of my way to make a jerk of myself right now, okay? I thought The Last Guardian looked stupid, okay? Internet,
Doesn't
hate
understand the
me
last
all you
Guardian.
want, okay? I have no interest in that game, and you probably have no interest in what I say now. But Escort Quest, oh, I hate escorting NPCs. I don't get why in games we like the idea of escorting NPCs. It never works out and it's never fun. Even when I'm playing through one of my favorite games right now, Half-Life 2 for my channel, I'm at this part where I'm escorting NPCs and it's stupid. Okay? Like I just hate escorting NPCs. Uh, but yeah, that's my big qualm with that game. Is it looks okay from like a tech demo perspective, but it's next level like escort, and I've never found that gameplay fun. So
I I don't even know what the game is about, to be honest. I'm not against it. I just want to see more of it before I decide whether I'm actually going to play it or not. Because,
yeah,
like I said, like me and Chris before this didn't. We're not too much big on like, or at least me. I don't know much about like PlayStation, like back in the day because I didn't have PlayStation back in the day. And a lot
yeah,
of people were like, "Yeah, Last Guardian, it's finally coming out." And I was just like, "Well, what is the Last Guardian?" Like me and Chris were just like, "What is Last Guardian? We had never heard of it before. Is there another game in this series that maybe this is a sequel to?" And we just found out. This is like, "Oh no, this was a game that was announced back to be like sort of almost a launch title for PS3 that never came out for some
yeah,
reason or another. It never came out, and that's why people were so excited." And then
yeah,
you just look at the overall gameplay. It's just like, what is it? I don't
yeah.
know what it is. You know?
They
Well,
didn't
okay,
put out enough to do anything more than pander to people who are excited about it before. They didn't really give us anything to raise the hype other than, look, it's not like Duke Nukem. I mean, that's
yeah,
what we got out of it.
yeah. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying like it didn't look like a solidly polished game. Okay, it just looks like one of those games where you beat once and then you're done with. And
yeah.
you know, yes, I can play those games once in a while, but when I've dropped $60 on a game, or like I want something more, and that's I want something more. I'll pay maybe $30 for that game. All right, that's from what I saw. So I don't hate it. Okay, it just I don't understand why people are like, yes, it's a game where we can escort NPCs. Like,
I gotta step away for just a
oh,
sec
that's
while
fine.
Evan gets hype about Sony.
Okay,
Hype. No, no, no. This is you misunderstand. This is not hype.
this is
Okay. This is disappointment at its highest level. Uh, that's what I say that because there was two giant uh, uh, announcements. One being, I guess,
let's do
the
Shenmue
Last
while she's
Guardian.
gone, or I
What?
let's do Shenmue while she's gone.
Yeah. Well, and then in the Shenmue 3, which I guess me and you are a little bit sort of biased on like the Sony conference because half of these games we don't even know what they are.
Well,
People are excited and
yeah,
we don't know why. We've never even heard it. Like
yeah.
Shenmue, I have no idea what that game
I'm
is. I
excited
had
for
to look it
Shenmue.
up afterwards.
Okay,
I
I'm not
Yeah.
excited about the changes to Shenmue. Like, once I've looked at the Kickstarter and how they're like redoing the battle system, I'm like, no. But the but I don't like quick time events thrown into my battles. I really don't. So I I'm excited for it because we're going to see the conclusion, and I'll probably play through it just to see the conclusion of the story.
Right, right.
But I'm not liking the change from 2 to 3. Okay, if that makes sense, or the announced changes thus far.
Well, I've heard that they might actually include Shenmue 1 and 2 with the game since
Okay.
it's been so long. Like
Yeah.
a sort of an not an HD remaster, but sort of like an
Yeah.
upscale HD version of it, so that people can go back, because apparently these games haven't existed since like early PS2 days or something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
But as far as Shenmue goes, it's like it confused me because they come out on stage and say, "Yeah, we're gonna fund a Kickstarter for this game that everybody wants," and then they come back in and I'm gonna say it: Shenmue 3 was funded in less than a day. I'm just gonna put it out there right now.
Yeah. 12 hours.
And I'm sure it's over 3 million by this point. I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it today, but I'm sure that Kickstarter is up over 3 million. Like, it hit its goal in less than a day. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It might have even beat out Yooka-Laylee for the fastest funded
It did.
video game Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure it did. But as far as like I don't understand why Sony couldn't have just done it. But then you realize it's like Sony didn't have to, because if you look at that Kickstarter thing, Sony didn't have to put, pony up the money for a game they didn't know people might have still wanted. Apparently,
Yeah.
I guess people did. But I don't know. I think it was sort of a dick move on Sony's part. The fact that, oh yeah, let's make all the fans fund this game that they want, so that we don't have to shell out the money for it, when they know,
Yeah.
you could have went to one of the Sony executives' house and dug out $2 million out of his couch cushions
Not
and
anymore.
found that money.
They're so
That's
in
a
debt.
drop in the bucket. That's nothing,
Yeah.
right? But I don't know. I'm glad it's getting made for the people that want it. I don't know if I'll play it because I've never played them before, but I don't know. It just seems the way that it was done was sort of weird, and I think it's another one of those things that could set a dangerous precedent for other developers. We're like, here's a title we haven't used in a while. Let's just get our fans to fund the game that they actually want for once.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like if like this keep happening, then in the end, gaming is going to not become like an industry where the studios actually make a game. It's going to become a part where they're going to like, oh, you want this game to be made, and then they put it out there and be like, how about you fund it for once? It's just like, no. But I don't know.
No,
I'm
I
sorry?
think
Maybe. But yeah, sorry, it's my dad. Anyway, I don't know. I think it was just stupid on that part to be able to do that. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I think it was here's the thing about Sony's conference that got to me, and I think Evan feels the same way. What does half of these games have to do with PlayStation? The
Yep.
big two announcements that we got was Shenmue and Final Fantasy HD remake, and I was waiting for A-List to come back to kind of talk about this, but we just announced that, oops, we're kind of making the HD remake of Final Fantasy VII, and that won them the internet. And that's what kind of disappointed me, was we had two real exclusives come out of there. The Last Guardian and Firewatch, okay? And Horizon. So that's 3 exclusives, okay?
Everything else was multi-platform.
But everything else is multi-plat, okay? Like,
not even the Final Fantasy VII was exclusive.
No.
It'll come out first. It said play it first on PlayStation 4. It didn't say play it exclusive on PlayStation 4.
I'm happy
It said
about
play
that
it
fact,
first.
though.
It said play it first. I understand why they're doing it, because Final Fantasy originally came out on PlayStation for the most part. Like, that's what made PlayStation big, was their Final Fantasy 7, 8, and all those other ones. I understand why they're doing it, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't have so much of a connection with that game that I can't just wait till it comes out on PC or Xbox, because it's going to be coming out on PC and Xbox probably.
yeah.
And like, I'll just play it then. It doesn't do anything for me.
Well,
And I think me and Chris talked
Yeah.
about this earlier. Me and you don't really have a big connection with that game as some other people. Me, I don't even play the original.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about it. I've seen videos of it. I know what happens in that game because everybody talks about it all the time. But for me, it's just like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hey, maybe I'll actually be able to play it and not have to finagle the old ones like on Steam to play it on PC now. And I'll see what all the hubbub is about. But I don't know. I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. And like people were saying, "Oh yeah, they won the internet. Sony won the internet." Yeah, well, do you know that's also going to be like on every other platform too? Like,
Yeah.
did
I
nobody
mean,
catch that? It's like, come on.
I've got to say that Final Fantasy VII was my first cosplay. I was
Yeah.
that obsessed with it that I put together a Tifa costume, and I actually wore it to high school for one Halloween.
Good for you.
oh,
Good
geez.
for you.
So
Yeah, good.
I've always loved Final Fantasy. There are
Yeah.
pictures of me as a young girl. Keep in mind, I was 9 years old when it came out.
Yeah.
When
9 years
7
old?
specifically came
Jeez.
out. I'm only a year older than you. Shut up.
Good.
So, um, the Final Fantasy games are a huge part of my gaming history. PlayStation 1, I was playing Parasite Eve, Metal Gear, and Final Fantasy really heavily.
Yeah.
And I am one of those fangirls who has always been going, give me more Final Fantasy, give me more. Not these newer ones. I'm not excited about the newer ones as I am about seeing
Final Fantasy 13 sucked.
my child. I
Yeah.
like seeing my childhood remade because I have 2 children. And now I can go, hey, look, here's a Final Fantasy VII that you'll play because the graphics aren't that old. My oldest child is named Vincent, which is a character from Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
for God's sake.
Yeah. Good for you. Good
So
for you. Love it. Love it.
I'm definitely a huge older Final Fantasy kind of girl. I am the sort of PlayStation 2 back to NES. So I'm excited about the remake. I'm also very excited to have it on the computer. I may also actually get a PS4 for this because I'd like to be able to stick it out in the kids' living room so that they can kind of experience that part of my
Yeah.
childhood.
See, I guess for me, it all comes down to there was 2 games that I found really interesting. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the Mecha Dinosaur game, looked freaking epic, and
Yes.
Firewatch for me looked interesting from a design perspective. Like, did have like this, the radio voice kind of talking. To you as you explore. Those were 2 standout games, okay, in my eyes, that I would be interested in watching or playing or watching. Other than that, everything else is multi-plat. And what I came out of is, yes, I'm excited that these games are being made, but I don't want to buy a PS4 because everything is being made for multi-plat, and
Yep.
I want Uncharted 4. Okay, I want a PS4 for 2 games, Uncharted 4 and Second Son. I know people are like, blah blah blah, but I love Infamous. Okay, I
They
bought a
didn't even
PS3
announce
for
a release
Infamous.
date.
No,
for
they
that.
didn't even announce a release date. I got nothing from
Uncharted
that
4.
conference that
Yeah.
made me want to.
That game is supposedly
buy a
coming
PS4.
out this year, and they didn't even announce a release date for it. That's like their biggest go-to game of their conference. Didn't even announce release date for
Yeah.
it. You've got to be kidding me.
But everything that was actually announced at the conference is multi-plat that I'm interested in, other than Firewatch and Horizon. And I could probably pass on Horizon if I played a game like Ark. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I still get my dinosaur
Yep.
combat. I still get like giant things coming at me.
Which Ark is coming to consoles.
Yep, it's
by the
coming to
way.
Xbone.
It will be coming to consoles next year. It's
Yep.
still in early access, but when it comes out, it will be a multi-platform release.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when I saw Xboxes, and I'm not an Xbox fanboy, I will tell you, I love my PS3 more than my 360. Easily last generation. Easily. Okay, but when I watched Xbox's or Microsoft's conference, I wanted an Xbox One coming out of there. When I watched Sony's conference, I was like, I'm glad I'm a PC Master Race person. Okay, that's
Exactly.
that like where I can get less load times, get better frames, and get mods and everything else I want, and get the customizable UI and everything I want. Final Fantasy VII will load in 5 seconds, while the PS4 will load it in 40. Like that's
Yep.
that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited
Okay.
about Final Fantasy VII coming to multiplat. I don't care about Sony PS4. I care less about the PS4 after that conference. And
Yeah, like if I had to pick, like Microsoft maybe want to go out and buy an Xbox One. Again, a bit biased because Rare Rewind Collection comes out August 4th, and I want to play Jet Force Gemini again. So we're gonna be
Yeah.
guess who's buying Xbox One for that. The Sony stuff, don't get me wrong, they had a lot of good stuff, but basically you could pretty much sum up majority of the Sony conference in basically one sentence, which is coming in 2016.
Or more.
And that was about
Yeah.
it. And that's the one thing. Xbox may have had quite a few things that we already knew that was coming, but a lot of it is coming this year. A lot
Yeah.
of it is coming out next month. A lot of it is coming out in August. It's like it's all of the stuff that mainly all of it was exclusive. I would say 80% of Microsoft was it's exclusive. It's coming to our platform only, and it's coming out this year. Sony was almost the complete opposite. And I would be
As
like,
long as
oh,
it's
make
coming out before October, because after October, I'm not gonna have time for this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
Six
some of it
exclusives.
is.
6 exclusives from the conference. Gears of War Remastered, which, I'll buy.
I'll get it. I'll get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And it's mostly FPS. That's what everyone's complaint is. If you like FPS, Xbox One's the place to be. Well, I like FPS, so sue me. But Halo 5, Recore, which, again, we liked it. Rare Remaster and Sea of Thieves. And Gears 4, which we didn't really talk about. But Gears 4 looked awesome. Okay, it looked like horror and great. But, yeah, I was
Cheese
excited
Slice.
for Gears 4.
Cheese Slice makes a good point here in the chat. We almost forgot Street Fighter 5 PlayStation.
Well, okay, but I'm not saying the Street Fighter 5 is bad. That's a good game, okay? But
But it's also coming to PC. Ha! Suck it, nerds.
yeah, it's coming to PC.
It's also
Sorry.
coming to PC. Guess what? Don't care. PS4. It's still not exclusive. Hey.
Oh yeah, but only if we could get fighting games that have good netcode on the PC.
Yep. That's the only bad thing
Whoever's-
about it.
Whoever's doing it, they've outsourced it to these guys twice, the Mortal Kombat series, and everyone's like failed epically.
Who
Every
needs
time,
good netcode when you can play locally?
Yeah, right.
That's how fighting games used
because
to
we
be
all
played.
live by each other,
Yeah.
right? Well,
Yeah.
Alice and I kind of do, but kind of.
Oh.
Kind
But
of an
yeah,
hour.
I know. You need to move here, Evan. So
No, you need to move here.
yeah, you got
You
jobs
need to
for
move
me there.
here. There's no jobs for you where you are.
No, this isn't Call of Duty,
Oh,
man. Whatever, puff, whatever. We haven't even gotten to Call of Duty yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He's right. No, but PlayStation and Call of Duty are now a thing instead of Xbox and Call of
Oh
Duty.
yeah, Call of Duty is now the new home. Our PlayStation is now the new home of Call of Duty.
For Call of
Wonder
Duty.
how much they had to pay for that.
Honestly, I
know.
think it was just Xbox sick of dealing with it. I don't know. I mean, like
yeah.
that Call of Duty has been an Xbox thing pretty much every year since Call of Duty has existed. To be
Yeah,
honest.
but Evan, you worked in the industry the same as I did. You know that no matter what, it will still sell like crazy.
Well, yeah.
It could
It will
be
sell.
a crap game, but they're still going to make money off of it. So
Yeah.
Sony had to want it.
And I will be one of those morons that will buy it.
Me too.
I already told you. I've already told you. I sell out for Treyarch COD. Treyarch COD is my most favorite type of COD, and I will buy this one hands down. Also, it has zombies, which is a great plus.
Yep.
But no, actually, if we could take a few minutes to actually talk about the COD,
Yeah.
I sort of like the new changes that they are making to COD, especially in the multiplayer aspect with the whole class system instead of everybody having like their own different loadout thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it will actually add a different level of strategic value that you don't see in COD nowadays. Because let's face it, there's no real strategy in COD, to be honest.
No.
Online, and lots of people say that there is, but let's face it, there's a very basic level of strategy in COD, and that's it. When you add these new classes and special abilities into the mix, I think it really, ups the game a little bit in terms of the multiplayer. And I don't know, I like the fact that I can have a guy with a machine gun arm go around mowing people down. Love it.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That's
loved
my
it.
opinion.
I loved it because to me, it's like force powers, right? They get the parkour system from Advanced Warfare, which interested me in the game. and I didn't get advanced before.
Yeah.
I haven't played COD since Black Ops 1. So for me to
No,
be go ahead.
I'm sorry. They took the parkour from Titanfall.
Yep.
Because
But-
there was, unless you're going to refer to as a double jump as parkour from Advanced Warfare, they didn't have wall running in Advanced Warfare.
No.
They just had double jumps and a little tiny boost.
I want to go
it.
ahead and address one of the questions in chat that Cheese Slice was asking. They are going to be getting exclusive maps, exclusive weapons, and
Oh no.
early beta access
okay.
that no other platform is going to have any kind of access to.
Oh,
Beta
yeah,
access.
that's what I thought was, and that's who cares,
Yeah.
To me, exclusive maps, whatever, they're gonna be trash anyways. It's just like Destiny, when
Did they say exclusive maps, or is it like Xbox where the maps just come out on them first?
It is being reported as exclusive maps.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll see if that changes. It is a long time until we're ready for that, but at this point, it looks like we are going to be seeing exclusive maps and weapons.
that's okay, we'll just
Okay.
get it for PC, and then we'll have tons of exclusive maps. So, sorry.
Because it's for PC. Suck it, nerds. PC Master Race. PC Master Race. Okay, I'm
PC
sorry. I'm done. I
Master
don't
Race.
normally sing that
I
song.
am
PC
cutting that out of the
Master Race.
recording and keeping it.
PC Master Race.
Oh, Boogie, we love you so much.
Oh, that's a great song.
Oh man.
But no,
yeah.
I don't know. I like that's one thing I will say though. I will sort of give credit to actually all the conferences. You didn't really see a lot of COD.
Nope.
Yes, they had the one thing in the Sony conference, but unlike every other year where COD is literally everything E3, you didn't see anything
Yeah.
other than just
Fallout
that one
1.
part. Yeah.
You know
Fallout
what we
1.
So that
didn't
was it.
see?
What?
Battlefield. We didn't see a
Exactly.
new Battlefield game.
That's because Star Wars Battlefront is the new Battlefield.
No,
I
it's-
said that a while ago. That's the new Battlefield for
But
this
we're-
year. They'll
we're
come
not
out with another
seeing-
one for next year. Believe me, they will. They will.
I'm just saying, for the first year ever, I think we haven't seen a core announcement of a core Battlefield game, and I think they're taking some time after Hardline crap. Sorry, I won't do that, but sucked.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to call it a year in advance. There is a rumor, a really good rumor that I'm excited about. That they're actually going for when they make another Battlefield game, it's going to be Battlefield Bad Company, another
Oh,
Bad
they
Company
should.
game. If they do Bad
Okay.
Company next year, sold. I love the Bad Company games. Bad Company 2, I'm all for that. So they're taking a year off to really flesh that one out a little bit more, and I think it'll be great.
Yeah. if
Well,
we
I
see
hope
another-
it'll be great. I hope it'll be great.
Yeah.
Battlefield Bad Company games were the good Battlefield games before the regular Battlefield games sucked, and then EA ate them up or whatever. You know what I mean. But yeah, sure, I thoroughly enjoy that. If they come out with that next year, I will be really into that. But yeah, so I think that's it for Sony conference.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much good. I think we only have two left, which are like Nintendo and Square. Which one do we want to do first?
Let's do Nintendo, because we were super excited about Nintendo, and Nintendo sucked. So
Nintendo was a little lackluster, yes,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yep.
As far as Nintendo goes, I gotta say they definitely made a mark on having a very, let's just say, unique show, to say the least. With
Yeah.
all the little Muppet characters that they had going on, and even the fact that they acknowledged the meme of what's his face looking at the bananas lovingly, which I thought was a really good touch.
Yeah.
But as far as Nintendo goes, I told you earlier, Chris, that I've been watching a lot of reaction videos and analysis videos from last night and this morning,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people maybe are getting some of this right. Where this year, as far as Nintendo goes, they have officially announced that they are making a new console.
Yeah.
And better yet, Fizeme actually said during the Direct, we're going to be hearing about the NX next year
Yeah.
at next year's E3, which could mean, A, it will either come out next holiday season or at least close to it.
17. Or 2017.
Maybe 17. But a lot of people are thinking that uh, we didn't get a lot of stuff that we wanted uh, this year because they're saving it for NX. Because
Mm,
let's face it, they gave us a lot of sort of spin-off things to sort of hold our attention until they come out with the better thing, whatever that may be. Um, like the elephant in the room, of course, being
mm.
Metroid, the Metro game that we didn't get. Metro game
Sorry,
that we didn't get.
I
Yes, I know why
gotta
you're laughing.
I
Whatever. But
I was like, oh no, he's gonna rub it in my face.
no, the
When that
Metroid.
popped
Look,
up, and then we had a our
I want to see
Metroid-less
more about
Metroid.
this. I want to see more about Federation Force, but right now it just doesn't. I mean, it looks okay. It looks like it could be fun, but I don't know. I'm still not too sold on that yet.
Yeah,
It was like the same thing. It was like they did this a lot with most of their franchises this year. The only game that they really gave us that everybody wanted, but we already knew what was coming, was Star Fox.
yeah,
As far as everything else, they pulled a total dick move with the way they presented Metroid because they presented Metroid Prime. Everybody goes ah, and then 3 seconds later they go Federation Force right down there, and everybody goes, "What the heck is that thing?" And then all of a sudden, 3DS multiplayer title, first-person shooter, and everybody's just like, and then their heads explode. Like, what? What the heck is this crap? Right? And then they did the same thing with Animal Crossing. They're like, they started showing Animal Crossing. And they're like, yeah, Animal Crossing. They showed that one designer game, which they announced like 2 months ago in a direct. And then they
yeah.
came out with this other Animal Crossing game that's like some ripoff of Mario Party. Everybody's getting all excited. It's like, yeah, we're going to get a new Animal Crossing game for Wii U. The one that, because the last Animal Crossing game was for the 3DS. We haven't had one for Wii U yet.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, yeah, a new Wii U game. New Wii U Animal Crossing game, which is a party game.
Yeah.
And then everybody did the same thing they did with Metroid. Their heads exploded.
Please
And
stop
it
with
just,
the party games.
It's the second game in a row, and then
Nintendo just dropped it
and
so
same-
hard.
And I liked Miyamoto talking about like level design and whatever with Mario Maker, but I was like, there are so many more interesting ways that you could like pitch Mario Maker, like the Nintendo World Championships, right?
That was a great way. That's a good way to show off Mario Maker. I will get Mario Maker. Don't get me wrong. I won't be
Yeah.
a creator in that game. I'll be more the guy that downloads hundreds of maps and plays through them. That would be me.
Exactly. Well, I just loved everything I saw about Mario Maker. Like the smoothness of creation that I've saw because I've seen like videos from the floor and that type of thing. Everything about that game looks amazing to me. As someone who's born kind of like growing up with Mario,
Right, right.
And I that's all what I always wanted. We used to always make levels on our TI 80 whatever's graphic calculators. That version of Mario, we would spend hours and days creating levels for each other to play. So to do this, like, just some of the things there were
In
just
5 minutes.
amazing. So
Yeah. And I like the fact that they added different genres of Mario Maker because I think last year when they announced Mario Maker, they only had like original 8-bit Mario and they had new Super Mario Brothers U as sort of like their graphics engines way. Now they have original Mario, they have Mario 3, they have new Super Mario Brothers, and now they also have the Wii U one that they came out with too. So I don't know. I like the fact that they have all these different variations of Mario levels that you can make now, which is I think is really, really cool. I'll definitely get it. Did they announce release date for that? Is that coming out?
Oh yeah, they did. November 11th, or no, September 11th. That's what I thought was really
11th,
weird.
okay.
I was like, why would you schedule a game on 9/11? So which
Well, you gotta take into account this is a Japanese company, not American. So
well, but they have a North American branch. Like Reggie could say something, like, I don't think that's a good idea, guys. Let's release it on the 10th or the 12th. I don't think, you know what I mean? But whatever.
I don't know. But I don't think there was anything else. Oh yeah, I think we have to say something about this. Yoshi's Woolly World. Actually, I will actually play that game. I think Yoshi's
Cute,
Woolly World
very
looks
cute.
good.
Oh, I don't care. It's cute. I want my Yoshi's Island back, and I loved Yoshi's Island back in the day.
Yeah, I've seen enough gameplay for that game to know that it's not just some cutesy kids game, that it actually has challenge to it, and that
Yeah.
it
Oh
actually
yeah.
has some sort of like game worth to it. Uh, also, I'm pretty sure me and Chris were sure that the table that she had in front of her with all the little yarn emoji amiibos on it.
I'll be right
Oh my
back.
gosh, yeah, with all the little Yoshi amiibos on it was pretty much the whole North American supply of Yoshi yarn amiibos was on that table in front of her, which was like maybe
Hey, I gotta
what,
take off.
15 of them?
Okay,
Okay,
that's fine.
bye,
We'll be
bye.
bye,
I don't know.
Alice.
I don't
We'll
know why she has
finish
to take off,
without you.
but okay, yeah, bye. Well, we're almost done anyway. Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, that was pretty much the whole North American release for that was just that little table of the yarn in front of her. So I don't know. I hope did they announce release date? Did they say that they're coming out with that before or after, like with the Yoshi yarn amiibos?
Uh, I don't think they did. So
No,
sorry, I'm just fixing Alice's overlay. Oh my
that's
gosh,
fine.
it screwed up all the overlays.
Yay! All the overlays are screwed up. Yeah,
Oh
that's
no, that's
fine.
because she logged off of Skype now. Oh no.
It's
So she
okay.
screwed up our Skype overlay.
It's fine. Let's finish up here anyway. We're almost done.
Well, let's
As
yeah, okay, go ahead. I'll fix it. I will
All right. Well,
fix it.
basically, near the end, that was pretty much it as far as Nintendo that's sort of noteworthy, I guess, unless you care about Skylanders, which I don't think anybody here is a 10-year-old boy. Uh, so that's pretty much it. We can move on to our last one, which of course is Square Enix, and to be honest, that's where our Moonhead guy comes from.
Yep. So
Yep. That's where our Moonhead guy comes from. I have no idea. Never played near. But of course, let's face it. SquareSoft. The only thing that any of us really cared about was Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that was it. That's all I cared about anyway. But wow, why do I have two heads? Now
that's
I'm like in
because
all of.
she logged off of Skype and changed the position of everyone's faces on the Skype overlay that I'm capping.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
There we go.
your body is pretty much
Yeah, like I just turned back into the thing, and it's just like, oh well, yeah, that's a thing.
that's a thing. Yep.
That's a thing. Anyway, yep.
I'm fixing
The
it.
Kingdom Hearts 3 footage that they showed was amazing. It was great. I knew I didn't figure we'd get a release date, but then again, they already said before E3 that they were going to be giving a lot of other details for the game um, at D23 this year instead of at E3,
Yeah.
which is in the fall, I think it is. I don't know the exact date of D23, which is like a not Nintendo, a Disney conference sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like a yearly Disney celebration, something or another. But other than that, I think in the end, oh, she's back online. Look at that.
Ah. Don't
Anyway.
join the conversation again, Alice, and make our heads go everywhere. Don't do it, Alice. Please don't.
She says, "Go ahead and invite me back again."
Oh
You just fixed the overlay.
no!
This is a great first podcast, everybody. Great
Yeah,
first podcast.
This is what you can expect. This level of
This is nothing but a high level of quality here
Yep.
on Hold X the podcast. We can also hold X to screw up the podcast, and we can also hold X to Moonhead as well. Anyway, the Kingdom Hearts stuff looked great. That's all I was expecting. All I wanted to see was more Kingdom Hearts footage,
yeah.
and it looked great. It looked amazing. I don't know what else to say other than that, and. I think that's all that anybody else cared about as well. You could hear, I don't know if you listen to him, he's a big theorist on
Matt
YouTube. Was it HMK? You can
Oh,
hear him
okay,
yelling in the background saying, "Thank you." That's him. That was him. If you go
Yeah.
back and watch the SquareSoft and you hear a guy yelling in the background like, "Thank you," and "Oh my God," that's HMK. It was funny, actually. He actually made a video on it. But anyway, was there anything else you really cared about in the SquareSoft other than, I guess,
mean,
Just
Phantasy
Cause
Star.
3? That was about it.
Yeah, Fantasy Star, but I mean, honestly, I think I like the. I mean, as always, I'm more excited about Tales of games than I am Fantasy Star, but I'll still play them.
Which we didn't see any Tales games, to be honest.
Well, I don't think we had a show for Namco Bandai, but they're on the floor, so
Okay.
you know what I mean. They're they're booths, but for a lot of games that weren't shown. So
Right.
yeah. But yeah, we're getting Tales of Bravia and Zestiria this year. I'll probably mess up both of their names. But yeah, we got 2 Tales of games coming. So I'm excited about that.
Let me guess. They're both for PS4.
No, the PS3.
PS3?
PS4, and I don't know about Bravia,
Oh, okay.
but I'm guessing that's probably a Vita port. I haven't checked it into it, but
Sounds about right.
yeah, sounds like it's something. Oh, I doubt we're gonna get 2 consoles releases. But yeah, that's Square Enix in a nutshell. I thought it was a very boring presentation. I'll say that.
It was a very boring presentation.
It was just like,
Super boring. Nobody
and
cared.
here's the next guest. We're gonna talk about everyone who made the game.
This game, exactly. Yep. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It was just really boring. But that's pretty much about it. I think for all the major stuff.
Yep.
I mean, obviously E3 is still going on. It goes on till actually I think today's the last day, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're still doing. Yeah, today's Friday, or no, it goes on to Friday. So
Does it go on to Friday?
Yep.
Okay.
we got booths till Friday. So yep, let's go ahead and wrap up. I'll go ahead and wrap up for myself. I'm Locked On Chris. You'll see me. I'll be on streaming
Locked
right
On
after.
Chris.
Yes, Locked On Chris is my Twitter. So at
Oh, is
Locked
it?
On
Oh, I
Chris.
thought you were going
Uh,
plugging your YouTube channel. I was like,
no.
wow, you screwed that up.
No,
Great.
I'm still plugging
No.
my YouTube. But you found my channel on Twitch, so this is where I'll be streaming Double Dragon Neon with Evan here right after this, and that'll be a good time. I do YouTube at Locked On Target Show, and Evan, why don't you go next?
I do the same thing. I am on the tube of views. At Evan the Pixel Pusher, you can look down below there. Just search Evan the Pixel Pusher, look for the big red and white X, and that will be me. I do first impression series called Beginner's Luck, where I play games for the first time, and then sort of give my first impressions view of whether it's good for other noobs to play. I do other Let's Plays, sometimes do vlogs and other videos such as like reaction videos, stuff like that. I don't do it too often, but I do that. But it's mainly that and some Let's Plays, and I also do Twitch highlights and Smash Bros. And do all that sort of stuff. So check me out, Evan the Pixel Pusher on YouTube. I also stream. I try to stream every other night here on Twitch as well at PXL Evan. To be honest, we'll probably be streaming Double Dragon on there after we're done here. We take a little break,
Yep.
and you can go there, subscribe to that, and you can watch us mess around playing some good old Double Dragon, which is great.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm done chilling my stuff.
We'll go ahead and I'll do Anna because she's not here. And then I'll do A-List too. So Anna does YouTube over with us. She just participates in Gamer Life and is just starting the stream. So you can find her at Hickville Productions. I don't know why it's not fixed. I fixed it, but it's at Hickville Productions.
I blame A-List for leaving.
I know, right? So,
Yeah.
just kidding,
Blame
A-List,
her for that.
because you're still here. Then A-List Endura, you can find her on YouTube that way. She's the most famous person out of all of us, she is also our resident Fallout girl, and she streams over at A-List Endura. You can find her on the YouTubes. Just type in A-List Endura, and her name is unique enough that it'll take you right to her. But if you type in Captain Chris in the YouTube, you'll find a very interesting karate guy. So,
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
yep. So,
Yes.
exactly.
That's great.
But anyways, this has been our first, second podcast, really. So,
Well, sort of
but-
second. Our first one was sort of a test.
yeah, first one was
See.
kind of test. This was the second test. So, yep. Thank you for tuning in, and until we meet again, stay on target.
Goodbye, guys.